The Black Swan. The Impact of the Highly Improbable is a book that explores the profound impact of rare and unpredictable events, called Black Swan events. Taleb argues that while these events are extreme outliers, they have massive consequences, and we often fail to predict or understand them because of our reliance on past data, flawed models, and human biases. The book challenges how we perceive uncertainty, probability, and randomness, especially in areas like economics, history, science, and personal life. Taleb splits the world into two parts: mediocristan and extremistan. In mediocristan, things follow predictable patterns, like human height, where no single person can skew the average much. In extremistan, a single event or person can dominate the total effect, like wealth distribution or book sales. Black swan events happen mostly in extremistan, where the rare and unexpected have enormous impact. 1. Definition of a black swan event. A black swan has three features. It is unpredictable, it has a massive impact, and after it happens, we try to rationalize it as if it were predictable. Example: the 9/11 attacks were a black swan. Before they occurred, no one expected them. After they happened, people came up with reasons and patterns to explain why they were bound to happen. But these were created in hindsight. 2. Our blindness to black swans. Humans tend to ignore the possibility of extreme events because we focus too much on what we know. We prefer to believe the future will look like the past, which causes us to miss major surprises. Example: in the financial markets, investors often rely on historical data to make decisions. However, events like the 2008 financial crisis were not predicted by these models because they didn't account for extreme situations that had never happened before. 3. The narrative fallacy. We love stories and often try to fit random events into coherent narratives. This makes us believe we understand things better than we actually do. Example: after a successful entrepreneur makes millions, we might say it was due to his hard work, discipline, and vision. While that may be true, we ignore the thousands of others with the same traits who didn't succeed, meaning chance could have played a much bigger role. 4. The ludic fallacy. We mistakenly apply simple, structured games, like dice or casino games, to real life, which is far more complex and unpredictable. Example: a risk manager might use models to predict stock market behavior assuming certain probabilities like a dice game, but the real market can be influenced by things that no one can foresee, like a sudden geopolitical conflict or a virus outbreak. 5. Scalability and extremistan. Some domains allow small differences to result in massive consequences. This is called scalability and is common in extremistan. Example: a best-selling author like J.K. Rowling earns millions, while most authors earn very little. The book market is scalable. One book can outsell all others combined, unlike, say, bricklaying, where work and income scale linearly. 6. Confirmation. Bias. People tend to look for evidence that supports their beliefs and ignore evidence that contradicts them. This makes them blind to rare but possible dangers. Example: a trader who believes a certain stock is always stable may only look at data that confirms this belief and ignore signs of potential collapse, leading to major losses when a crash occurs. 7. The problem of induction. We wrongly assume that because something has always happened a certain way, it will continue to do so. Example: a turkey is fed every day and believes humans are kind. Then, one day before Thanksgiving, it is killed. From the turkey's point of view, the event was a total surprise, even though it was always coming. 8. Silent evidence. We only see the winners or survivors and base our judgments on them, ignoring all the failures that never made it to the spotlight. Example: people read about billionaires who dropped out of college and became successful and conclude that dropping out is a good idea. but they ignore the millions who dropped out and didn't become successful. These silent cases distort our understanding. 9. We can't predict, but we can prepare. Taleb advises that instead of trying to predict black swans, we should build systems that are robust or even benefit from them. Example: in personal finance, this could mean keeping most of your money in safe investments while taking small risks with a portion. So if a rare success happens, you benefit greatly without risking everything. 10. Anti-fragility. Though this idea is expanded in Taleb's later book, he hints at it here. Some things don't just survive uncertainty, they gain from it. Example: a startup company might be small and nimble, so when a crisis hits, it quickly adapts and thrives while larger competitors struggle due to their rigidity. 11. Living in the past. We prepare for what has already happened, not for what might happen, which is a poor strategy in an uncertain world. Example: airports became more secure against hijackings after 9/11, but the next major threat may come in a completely different form, which no one is prepared for. 12. Barbell strategy. Barbell. Taleb suggests using a barbell investment approach. Put most of your resources in very safe bets, and a small part in highly risky but potentially high-reward ones. Example: instead of putting all your money in medium-risk stocks, put 90% in extremely safe investments like bonds and 10% in speculative options or startups. You reduce the risk of ruin while keeping the possibility of large gains. 13. Experts are often wrong. People with credentials and confidence are not necessarily better at predicting the future. Example: economists and financial experts failed to predict the 2008 crash, yet they continued to be seen as authorities even after major mistakes. 14. History is distorted by black swans. Most significant changes in history, wars, technological breakthroughs, disasters, are caused by black swans, not gradual trends. Example: the invention of the Internet or the collapse of the Soviet Union were not gradual or predicted accurately. They arrived suddenly and changed the world dramatically. 15. Don't be fooled by the bell curve. The bell curve assumes most things are average with few extremes. Taleb argues this doesn't apply to complex areas like finance or history, where extremes happen more often than expected. Example: in school test scores, the bell curve might work, but in wealth, one person like Elon Musk can own more than millions of others combined. This is not something a bell curve can handle well. Taleb's core message is that we need to change how we think about risk and uncertainty. Rather than pretending the world is predictable and neat, we should embrace its unpredictability, be cautious about what we think we know, and build strategies that protect us from, or even benefit from, surprising events. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get more video like this.